Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack on Productions. Today I'm Bancroft being joined by a couple of individuals today, including one of our newest locals, Jake 2, Tanner, and like always, Fluff.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey, guys.
What's up, beautiful people?
And keep in mind, there's buttons down below, feel free to click them, they're there for a reason. So today's matchup, we have Jake 2 playing the new Vegeta leader from the starter deck, going against Fluff and his Toppo Lock. These are both great decks. We haven't seen Toppo Lock in forever. We got a new leader deck here. So we'll do Fluff, kind of give your take on what's different about Toppo Lock, and then Jake, you follow up with your Vegeta deck.
Cool.
So, I guess it's kind of the same premise as Toppo Lock has always been. Kind of limit the field. We do have the new anniversary Topos, which you'll see I have them proxied in the deck. So you see, you can peek down on my hand here. The card that's turned around is a proxy. I typically don't proxy, but our local shop did not get the anniversary boxes on time. So I really wanted to get some testing in with this deck before Gen Con at locals. So everyone was kind enough to let me just run the cards proxied. So I really do appreciate that. But then we're utilizing a lot of the higher end stuff that's kind of come out in, I think, set 12 and set 14, like Divine Transformation Frieza, SS4 Goku, Return of the Dragon Fist. So we'll get to see some of that stuff. But other than that, I'm kind of just testing, is U9 Assemble still good? Short answer is nope.
Reban.
Which is so crazy because that was the card that you were like, it should never got banned, and then you finally get a chance to put in the deck, and you're like, yeah.
It shouldn't have been banned. Like, it literally should not have been banned. The card is slow. And like, of course, draw to play a card is nice, but if your opponent is suspecting that you might be on U9 Assemble, they just don't tap all their energy. And then we don't have 4 Bergamo anymore, so you can't tap your opponent up as easily and then take advantage of U9 Assemble. But then also they're not combo pieces. So if you get pressured, you just can't use them to defend yourself.
So, yeah.
Like that Roshi son. We're going to the same.
I think we're trying to say the same thing. Go on, Tanner.
Oh, I was just going to ask him how he liked the Roshi son.
Oh yeah, so the thing about the Roshi Unison that I do like is the fact that it gives that burn damage when you play it. Right away they lose a life, as long as you play it early enough, which you almost always do. I went to running 4 of the Piccolo Junior Unisons, and I actually, me and Fluff were talking about it after the match, and I took out the Roshi Unison. It does do what I like about it, though, if anybody does run it or whatever. What I do like about it, and still give it credit for, is that it's +1 as it gives it 5k, and the leader ends up awakening, when it's awakened, gives it the double strike. So it's 20k double strike every turn, which, I mean, it's not bad. Not bad. But the Piccolo Unison is definitely the best for this deck. I actually sort of changed my strat on that awaken with the Unison since this match. Turn 2 is still not bad, but I actually kind of have been delaying it until turn 3. Like, I won't even play my Unison until turn 3. And then awaken, because then you get to untap the 2. Then you have 3 open energy. You can have a pretty big turn 3 in this deck with 3 open energy. You'd use 2 to get out the Goku Divine Presence, or the new addition that I made on untap that I don't have in this match is the Frieza Fairweather Fiend, which is like just a fantastic card for this deck. Can't believe I didn't know about it before. However, I am really new to the game, so that makes sense. But that is a fantastic card to play turn 2. That Fairweather Fiend, I know I don't have it in this deck, but I'll just say something about it real quick. With this Piccolo Unison, you can punish your opponent 2 times for countering if that card's on the field. The Fairweather Fiend negs a card by 30, ignoring barrier if they counter, and then the Piccolo, of course, does the get rid of a card 15 or less. So,
and the Piccolo is not once per turn. So
true.
You can neg as many times on the Piccolo. But I'm really surprised the Fairweather Fiend has taken any time whatsoever to get any type of traction. Because to me, that was the best card that came out and the expansion that it was from. And no one has been on it. Like, at all.
Yeah, undoubtedly. And like for me, I wasn't in this game when that expansion came out. I've only been playing for I think a couple of months now. But I mean, I saw somebody run it in a profile, and I tried it out on Untap, and I absolutely love it. And this whole game, I didn't see the negates that I needed. I run 3 testing the op. I run 2 is that all you got, and I run 2 Vegeta imposing presence. And I didn't see more than like 2 negates the whole game, so I had to go a little more aggressive. And 2 topos. I run 2 topos as well. So, but I didn't see any of them. I only saw like 2. Is that all you got? And so I had to go a little more aggressive, a little earlier than I normally like. I know it's red and but I sort of have been playing this one what I believe is a little more mid range, where like turn 4 is usually my kill turn if I'm gonna win. Turn 5 maybe even. I've made it to turn 5 with this deck a lot. I played Jimmy with Mecha Kabora earlier in the night, made it to turn 5, had him down to 1 life. He ruined me with the Oceanus negative energy, but milled my deck out. But yeah, so I feel like it's actually a pretty good mid-range deck versus a super, super early aggro deck from what I can see.
And this deck actually has a really good game against Toppo Lock because you don't rely on extra cards as much. You play battle cards during my turn, you play battle cards during your turn, and then your Unison is always a threat to me. And I can't cleanly deal with your Unison 95% of the time. So I'm always going to have to be prepared that if you swing at me, I have to be able to respond to Unison or Leader in such a way that you don't get advantage on the other. And since I know that you're going to swing with your Leader first to give your Unison double strike, I'm going to use stuff like Power of the Super Saiyan to tap your Unison down so you can't swing with the double strike.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to deal with this Leader for sure. 100%. Rest the Unison if you can. Take the Unison out if you can without wasting too many resources on it. But at the end of the day, I do run 6 Unison. So a lot of the time when people focus all their energy on the Unison and they take a whole turn to try to take him out, I'm just smiling to myself going, that's fine. I'm just going to play another one on the next turn, And it ends it's 2 energy, I know, but it's usually turn 3 or 4 when that happens. See, there's that Goku that comes out, and he is definitely the big boss of the deck, without a doubt. He does a lot of work. Makes himself a 30k dual attack. Yeah, he's pretty good.
But for me, I can't justify putting that much effort into taking out your Unison when you get a free negate against a Unison attack every turn that then boosts the power up. Like, I feel like there are a few decks that can just super easily take your Unison out. So to me, I would rather just try to play around the Unison while it's on the field and not worry as much about trying to get rid of it. Just because I know what Toppo Lock is capable of and what it's not. And I would literally probably have to waste an entirety of 3 solid turns to be able to get your Unison off the field. And then you just pay 2 energy and put it out. And it's just feels bad for the Toppo Lock player. So I don't even mess with your Unison.
Yeah, no, you definitely didn't. And he got up. I think at one point I got him all the way up to so many markers that I didn't have another die or I had to use my second die to go ahead. I think that's what that is right now. I think he's up to 7 right now.
So
which was just crazy.
2 things. Actually, I think it's that marker's for the double strike.
I wasn't sure if it was. I couldn't remember if that was my other thought, but yeah.
But 2 things I want to remind people about. The reason why Fluff only had to do 1 super combo is that the Unison, if all of his energy is yellow in rest mode, it boosts the leader by 5, so it saved Fluff on having to use that card. And I want to call it real quick. You got to remember that Piccolo's auto.
And yes, I did misplay that. Me and Fluff were talking about that in the match, and I said, I think I misplayed and forgot his auto to punish you for the counter. He's a new addition for me, but
I've been in Gen Con mode testing for the event. And under normal circumstances, if we weren't approaching Gen Con, I would have been like, hey man, your auto went off. You can blow out my blocker here. And I would have reminded him. But I've been in Gen Con mode where I'm not correcting my opponent's misplays. I'm just letting them carry, unless it's like functionally not how the card works. So it's not me being a dick or anything like that.
No, yeah.
And like I even like tried to retroactively, like after that turn was done, I was like, hey, don't forget to activate your Piccolo's auto. Anytime that I use an extra card, because I would have lost the blocker. I think maybe at some point in this game, I end up comboing with that token. The the yellow tokens don't have combo power. They're just a 10,000 token. So I can't combo with it. So I think I make that misplay at some point in this game. Maybe it gets blown out. I don't remember. But Jake and I were talking about it earlier, and it does not have combo power compared to like the green one that does.
Yeah, or the Cyberman one off the testing the op.
Really? Yeah. I did not know that yellow didn't have a combo cost.
It does not. Yep, Frieza army tokens do not have combo power. They're 10,000, no combo.
And I remember this turn, I think it was this turn. Maybe it was, it's got to be this turn, because I don't think I actually make it. I think you beat me in the next turn, but, well, spoiler alert, sorry guys. But you were worried about all the energy untapped, you know, and I was about to have 4 energy, and the problem with this deck that I've found is, like, I don't know, it doesn't stall out very much, but man, when it does, it stalls out hard. Like hard, you know, I didn't have the negates that I needed. That surprise attack SSB Vegeta that's in my hand right now, he got taken out. Me and Fluff were talking about that after the match, and he's out because there's literally zero offensive spirit boost capabilities in this deck. And it's not bad to play a battle card on your opponent's turn, of course, but it just, you know, as Fluff was saying, who's a more experienced player here, dealing with the Unison, maybe not priority number 1. Maybe it's just for yellow, but that being said, sometimes people don't attack the Unison at all, and if they don't, I mean, your Spirit Boost that would bring that SSB Surprise Attack Vegeta out is just literally dead in the water. It doesn't do anything. It's just a dead card. I mean, charge target, sure, but pretty much a dead card. So he's out, and I don't know. I just didn't see the negates I needed, and yeah, it is what it is. It was a good game. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was being on camera.
That is, no. Well, and it's really going to vary deck to deck that you're playing against, too. Because, like I said, Toppo Lock has a really hard time ripping Unisons out like that, especially against this deck. Whereas another deck may be more favorable in that matchup. And being able to rip the Unisons out. Like, maybe green can do it easier. Red could probably do it easier. Black may be able to do it with less investiture. But, you know, red is really one of those colors where you want to be go on your turn, and you don't really want to stall as much. You don't want to have dead cards in your hand that you can't use. You want to be able to put pressure on when you see a window to put pressure. You want to be able to just get in with it.
Yeah, and the best way that I've won games with this testing on Untap, and a couple in the shop is you withstand a huge barrage, you know, on their turn 3, maybe even turn 4, because I have done that. And, you know, that's why I run so many negates, because you leave a bunch of energy untapped. You know, when you're setting up for a big turn, you withstand a huge barrage because they make the push because they think you're low enough. 3 life, 4 life, something like that. And then you're able to do what I just did with Fu. You're able to bring out You can, and I have, bring out Goku, Divine Presence, and Fairweather Fiend Frieza in the same turn with a Fu. And I mean, that's just too much to withstand pretty much for any deck.
Red has a surprising control element behind it. A lot of people consider red like an aggro color, but red has a really good control game. And it's one of those controls that, like, control, and then it can just immediately, like you said, where you can play those 3 or 4 battle cards in one turn for almost no effort and just blow your opponent out. And that, to me, is the true strength of red outside of degenerate Bardock crew strategies. And the Bardock crew strategy is one that I thought of for this deck, but I do like that control aspect of it. That I think most red decks, I mean, at least that I've seen, like, don't focus on as much. They sort of go really, really hard, really early, and I'm like, nah, I'm gonna hang back and wait for that window. That's honestly, I think like Bancroft, Tanner, and myself have been big advocates for red as a control color. Bancroft and I, since Frieza Prison came out, and Tanner was really big on red as control during like Brawly's Surge format.
For sure.
Yeah. And even Beerus to an extent. I believe you played Beerus for a while.
It has a lot of elements you said. Yeah. Can pivot.
One thing that was hurting me for sure in this matchup was your hand size.
Yes.
Your hand, like if a deck builds up a big hand size against this deck, it's pretty tough, dude. It's pretty tough to get around all that combo power, even with, you know, some dual attacks like the Goku and you know, a couple double strikes.
That's one of the things with this version of Toppo Lock that I've changed since, is that it is a wide hand, but only a small percentage of it is useful in a situation where maybe I have to tap out or combo here. Like, I think at this point I have like 11 cards in hand, and I think I'm comboing out to kill you here.
Yes, because I have 1 life, and that's definitely, I think I make my final attempt here, 2 10Ks. Yep.
Yeah.
2 10Ks, and that was, I think I'd lay a couple more down. That was it. That card right there, I'll say something about that real fast, if that's all right. That Vegeta Royal Evolution. So I got a couple mixed, you know, feelings on it from you, Fluff, and I think somebody else at the shop gave me like a, I'm not sure about it kind of thing. Like, I don't know. But I will say, dude, when it's come in at the right time, I think at like a 2 of would be better because I only run it as a 1 of right now. But when it's come in, it's come in big, dude. It's come in really big. Oh, I guess that wasn't the end right there.
No, yeah, you survived.
Yeah, I think I had to do the
survived.
second swing.
Yeah.
Oh, nope. You went to your next turn. So
yeah, it went to my turn right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That Android 18, I'm a little torn on too. She's good. She's okay. I mean, she's just a 15K, but she is okay. I still have her in the deck right now after this one was over here. You know, I revamped some of it, but she's still in there.
You're newer in the game, and cards like that Android 18, those cards were almost staples for every deck, particularly red and blue. And then the Android kind of came out later for Universe 7 decks, but those types of cards were really staple at a point in the game because the game was slow enough that boarding a 15,000 on your opponent's turn with one of your open energy while defending to have a pressuring strike during your turn was worth it.
It was great.
Right.
Yeah. And the game has just kind of sped up to a point, and there's enough removal that if I weren't playing Toppo Lock, there might be a high chance that that card dies before it comes back to you.
Absolutely, yeah. That playing it on your opponent's turn is definitely risky. But it's, you know, it's what I needed to survive in the last turn because she is a 10K combo power, cost 1 energy. But yeah, sure, it's great. Another card that I added that's like similar in a way is actually Surprise Attack Frieza. I got it from the Toa Ultimate deck. And why I added it is you know, a couple reasons. You can KO a battle card if they activate a blocker, for example. That's a battle card most of the time. It gets KO'd because it's a little weenie, and then you throw him in there for free. And so it's actually worked out pretty good. I'm running it as a 2 of right now, but I like it for now. So we'll see how that goes. I made some changes to the deck after this game, but MVP of the deck for sure as of right now. A couple of them, Yamcha, Merciless Barrage, absolutely does so much work for sure. The Unisons, no doubt. And then just the Goku Divine Presence and Frieza Fairweather Fiend, like absolute MVPs of the deck for sure.
It's so funny to me because when Merciless Barrage came out, it was considered to be the worst of the unison free counters. Like if you had a unison out and could use for free, Yamcha was considered the worst.
Easily.
Wow.
Easily. And now, the longer the game goes on, the better and better that card gets. Like, I can't say it's the best because I think that still goes to Trunks. But, like, it's definitely surpassed Prideful Transformation Vegeta. And it is probably, in a lot of ways, as far as I'm concerned, on par with Charismatic Villain.
Yeah, I played it. It was, you know, my match with Jimmy earlier against Mecha Kabura in the night. And I at one point had 3 of them in hand, and he played a Shroom and a Salsa, and I was like, okay, that's fine. And then he played his next card, and I did Timing Window too, but I chose to KO the Shroom and the Salsa. And they, you know, I know they have effects when they get KO'd, but it was just I wiped his board like 3 times with the Yamcha Merciless Barrage.
Well,
and it was like, yeah, that's great.
Keep in mind, they're not considered KO'd when they're named.
Are you intentionally flicking off?
What is it?
Are you intentionally flicking off Unite Assemble?
Yes.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. I just noticed that twice.
I did, because this is the last round, and it caused me to brick so hard in my second round. Like, you think like, oh, draws, but like I would have just much rather than been anything else. Anything but Unite Assemble. And I've since changed the deck, and the deck functions way better now than it did. And I still don't think that like Toppo Lock is 100% right in this format, because it's not an incredibly wide format. And maybe something like Gotenks or Jaren is just better, or Helku is just better. But yeah, I definitely flicked off Unite Assemble. Fuck it.
And with that being said, thank you all for tuning in today. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Keep in mind, while Fluff does the outro, there's buttons on the screen.
Yeah, I love you, Unite Assemble, but I also kind of hate you. Click on one of these 4 videos. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of our content. Leave us feedbacks below. Subscribe, like the videos, algorithms, all that fun stuff. Anyway, reach cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to. And as always, Fluff out.